Good evening. Thank you for being patient with us while we do our set changes and trying to figure out the light booth and why things were working and weren't working. We got the house lights down a little, so hopefully you're more comfortable. Please welcome to the stage CFHS 1. We have a super program for you tonight. We're going to open with Lullaby of the Leaves, a classic by the great Francie Boland Clark Big Band. So we hope you enjoy this. introducing soloists on that one. You heard Eli Smith on guitar, Isaac Moreland on harmon mute trumpet, Jace Berry on the tenor sax, the saxophone section, Abby Townsend on the piano, Easton Skrull laying it down on the drums, and the great Emma Cryer back there playing some screaming lead trumpet. So yeah. We're going to really change things up now. I've got this beautiful tune for you by Bob Florence. It's called Evelyn, and the title is really weird. It's Evelyn, Queen of the Racket Club, is the full title. And Bob wrote it for his wife, and they live out on the West Coast in California, and she is the Queen of the Racket Club, but she plays with a friend all the time, and her friend Rachel and Evelyn have this little tennis thing that they do every other day. And so he wrote this tune for them, and it features two outstanding alto saxophonists. Shelby Condit is in the red, hair and sweater. And Sophia Munoz is not in the red. They are both outstanding seniors, and what's cool is when they were like in 8th or 9th grade, I heard them with the Pete Jazz Band, and I was like, man, that's a really good sax section. Those two, they're playing. Maybe someday we'll get them up here and we can feature them together. And here they are again, being featured together. So it's pretty fun. This is a really neat modern take on the bossa nova featuring Sophia and Shelby. I hope you enjoy Evelyn. right, let's have one more hand for Shelby and Sophia. They're just doing awesome. That's on the album Serendipity 18 by Bob Florence, if you're looking for it. It's an incredibly great big band album. The whole thing is super fun. Tonight we get to do something really neat. We get to do a world premiere. Literally, we have not played this anywhere else before, and it sounds super pretentious, but it's the first time ever in the world this piece has ever been performed live, not in rehearsal. And this piece came about just this summer, or October, I guess it was, October. We had jazz auditions, and Jax Berry made it. He's a senior. He came out of Holmes. And Jace Berry made it. And Jace came out of Holmes also. They're related. You might not know this. But they are brothers. And it's pretty cool that both of them are all-state musicians and both in Jazz 1. And their grandpa, Tom Berry, is the retired saxophonist and oboe teacher at UNI. His bio's in the program. You should read it because he's pretty amazing. I first met Tom when I moved here in 2004, and he's just one of the best guys in the world. And he plays wonderfully with Checker and the Blue Tones. We've played some big band gigs together. He's played everywhere, but he also does all this incredible sound engineering. He's helped us out with some a piano mic tonight, and when the UNI recording studio first opened, he let us in there and we recorded a CD with Jazz 1, which was pretty fun back in 2008. So we got the idea to do this tune tonight to feature Tom and his two grandsons. And it's called Triple Berry, which is pretty fun. It was written by Chris Mertz, and I asked him for a tune that we could learn in about 3 rehearsals. And if you know Chris Mertz, this never happens. It was supposed to be a blues in B flat, and it turned into a blues in B flat with a bridge and an Afro-Cuban section, and a ridiculously hard trio down front, and a stupid hard saxophone part and trumpet part, and it took a lot more than 3 rehearsals, but we're happy to premiere it to you. So without any further ado, let me welcome Tom Berry to the stage. We will enjoy Triple Berry. That was fun. Thanks to Chris Mertz for the great chart, and thanks to Tom Barry for putting all that together and making it happen. That was something special tonight. We're going to do two more tunes. We've got First In, Last Out by Bob Washut, who is the Professor Emeritus of Jazz Studies at the University of Northern Iowa. And this tune means a ton to me. Brett Neal, it's dedicated to Brett Neal, who's the drummer at Valley, and his band director was my best friend all the way through college and for the last 20 years. And Brett was tragically killed in a car accident in 2016. And so my friend Joe, his band director at Valley, wanted to get this chart written. And it was on Joe's wish list to get it done. Joe unfortunately got lymphoma and last year passed away. And it was one of the saddest things I've ever had to see was saying goodbye to a friend. I was in the hospital room and talking with him and his wife. And he stopped everything and he just said, look, enough about me. Can you make sure this chart gets written? This is what I want. And he wanted a chart for Brett. And that was something he wanted to get done. And so me and Tony Garmo, Joe's band director from Valley back in the day, and Bob Washut met at Chentro in Des Moines, and we hashed this out over a couple hours, and we invited the Neal family to be part of that. And Brett's mom and dad were there, and they were part of the chart, and they said, what we want is something that's happy and fun and reminiscent of Brett. And one of the last things Joe said when he wanted to talk about the chart is like, look, if you know Brett was the first person in the band room in the morning and the last person out of the band room in the evening. He was always first in, last out. And Washut took that idea and he said, well, let's write a chart around it. And let's make it a celebration of life. And let's start with drums and end with drums. So we're going to feature senior drummer Easton Skirl. He's been in the band 3 years now and has played at IBA his sophomore year and only went downhill since then. This tune means the world to me. It's been super fun to teach it to these guys and to talk about its meaning and to see the spirit of the tune come to life. And I think it's a beautiful remembrance of Brett and also of Joe, and I think everybody would be happy about it. So this is First In, Last Out by Bob Washut. You're going to hear from Easton on drums, Jax Berry on the tenor, Eli Smith on guitar, and we're going to bring Tom Berry out for one more solo on this as well. So we hope you enjoy. so much for being here tonight. We're going to close our program with a swinging up-tempo tune called Another You. There Will Never Be Another You is the full title, arranged by Dan Gailey. And you're going to hear solos from Blake Aarons on the melody out front, Eli Smith on guitar, Jax Berry on the tenor, and then there's like this whole band thing that's really, really awesome, which is a testament to everything that's happening here in Cedar Falls. None of this happens in a vacuum. I don't just teach these kids. They show up already able to play, and then we just tweak it a little bit. And they work so hard. But it all starts in 7th grade. Laura and Eric do a phenomenal job in 7th grade, getting the kids going. Our elementary teachers do amazing work in 5th and 6th grade. I've heard those rehearsals. That's hard, right? Like, that's just hard. 5th and 6th grade band, man. Like, they earn every penny they get. And then they grow up and they turn into 8th and 9th graders, and they're not that fun to be around. And Ben and Laura do even more great work. And I mean, I like you guys and all, but you know, anyway. Be careful. And then when they get to high school, they get to work with Gerald Ramsey and Jazz too, and they get to work with me, and they get to work with Elliot Kranz, who's one of the best colleagues I've ever had. He's phenomenal at his job, and he's phenomenal with his kids. So I'm super fortunate to stand in front of this band and have this much fun. But thank you to Ben and Laura and Eric and Mr. Kranz and Joe and Ann at the elementaries. All of them are doing such great work. Let's give them a hand. Finally, one other thank you tonight. Corey McBride is back running the soundboard for us like 8 or 9 years ago. I'm losing track, I'm old. He's student taught here, and he's been band director at Owine now for quite a while, and he's doing a phenomenal job. He comes in to help run sound and make our lives easier. This is a whole mess of chords and things that just works perfectly when Corey touches it. So we're happy he's here. Thank you, Corey. We hope you enjoy this up-tempo swing, Another You.
Mm-hmm.